Here's another DIY from Retired Guy. Today's project is draining my hot water heater. My hot water heater is gas, so I'm going to turn it off before I drain it. I tried this when I first moved into the house about 7 or 8 months ago, and it has a recirculating pump on it. So this line here goes to a recirculating pump. That's the pump right there. So what it does is it recirculates the hot water so that at the back of the house, this water heater's in the garage, so you don't have to wait for the hot water to reach all the way to the back of the house. I've since turned it off. It made a lot of noise, and I've had people tell me that keeping it running all the time, depending on what your water's like, can cause wear in the copper lines. In fact, my sister had a recirculating pump in her house, and she got a bunch of holes in her copper lines, and the plumber told her that it was because of the recirculating pump. So I haven't used it in a couple of months. But when I was draining it, the pump was on. I didn't know what it was, and it wouldn't drain properly. Now I'm trying it again. So what I'm doing first is turning the gas off. And again, I'm not a plumber. I'm not licensed in any of this. Don't follow my instructions. Follow the instructions on your water heater. So I'm following instructions listed on my water heater. Some kind of state select. So the first thing, my gas was on, so I'll turn my gas off, which is all the way to the left. So I'm also shutting the water off, the incoming water lines. So what I want to do is drain it all down, but the goal is to get all the sediment out. To the hot water heater. I've got the gas off, and now I'm gonna go hook a hose up and drain it. Okay, I have the hose hooked up. Now I'm gonna open the valve up, and I suspect nothing's gonna flow because there's gonna be a vacuum inside this thing. So probably the best thing to do is to open up a hot water line in the house. Yeah, there's valve's open, there's nothing coming out. Because it was as I expected, because there's a vacuum. But I'm gonna open the safety check valve. It's not recommended you do this like any valve. Sometimes you open them and they won't close again, but I've had this open and I know it's functional, so I'm gonna open this. This is a pop-off valve, pressure relief valve. And so far, it looks good. I mean, there's no sediment at all coming out of there. I've drained them in old houses where it was just sand coming out, where I lived in North Carolina near the coast. But this looks good. I don't see any sediment coming out of there. So we'll see when we get it drained down. Then I hit it, open up the water line. It'll splash around in the bottom of that tank and I'll see if anything stirs up. And my valve is leaking water, so I'm gonna sponge under that. It's my pressure relief valve. It's leaking water. All right, we're all drained out. It took about 40 minutes to get all the water, just gravity fed out of the valve down the driveway. So now I'm going to turn the water on, wide open, to try to, if there's any, I didn't see any sediment at all coming out of it, which was really good. either the prior owners were draining this, which I kind of doubt, or there's just not a lot of sediment in the water. So let's check and see if I stirred up any sediment. Started raining. Yep, I still don't see anything. You know, there's nothing on the driveway. Like I said, the house I had in North Carolina, when I drained the hot water heater, I would have a little beach at the end of the hose. But yeah, this is good. So I'm gonna let it drain down and stir it up a couple more times, and then fill it up and light the pilot. All right, since I didn't see a single bit of sediment coming out after turning that on for about 10-20 seconds each time to stir up the bottom of the tank, I'm going to stop here. I would, generally try that about 3 or 4 times. If I was seeing sediment, I keep doing it until I got clean water out of it. But I'm seeing nothing, so I'm done. So I'm going to shut this valve off, turn this valve on, fill the tank. And when I'm filling the tank, I leave this is the closest valve, the hot water valve to the hot water heater. So I leave that line open to blow the air out as it fills. And very importantly, close this pressure relief valve. So hopefully that closed. If they stick open, you got a problem. So yeah, I'll let it fill, and once I hear it stop filling, I'll light the pilot. All right, looks like all the air's out. And it's just getting water. So tank should be full. Yep, it's not flowing anymore. So the instructions say to take this cover off. It just lifts up, slides out of the way. There's a window cut in it, so it doesn't really give you that much more visibility. But they tell you to locate the igniter. It's that white, see that the red wire going to that white ceramic tube. And if you push your igniter, you should see a spark coming off of that. So that's the spark. There's no gas going, my gas is off. So when we light it, we're gonna turn that gas knob to pilot and toggle this igniter, it says like 4 or 5 times. Okay, so to light the pilot, this is off. There's no gas going to it right now. I'll dial that to pilot lighting. You turn this to pilot, and then you press it down. I'll do this one in, and you toggle this 5 or 6 times, and you continue to hold this down for a minute, I guess, to clear the line out. It should be lit right now. And when I release this, it should stay lit. All right, so I'm going to release it. And once I release the pilot valve, the pilot should remain lit, which it is. So then they tell you to replace the cover. And can turn the control knob to on. And then I can turn this to my desired setting. I can hear it fire up. And it's lit. And looking good. So I'll turn it back to I usually keep it on low during the day. And then if we're showering, I'll turn it up to like B to get showers and any other hot water. Then at night, I turn it back down to A. So that's all there is to it. This needs to be all the way over to on at this point, and this should be at your desired setting. So it's not that difficult. It's intimidating to some people, but this hot water heater was manufactured in 2015. So it's almost 10 years old, 9.5 years old. And if that was never drained, which I'm not sure whether the prior owners were ever draining it, but if that was never drained, that was amazing. And I'll probably go, I don't know, at least a couple of years before I do this again, because there was nothing in it. Looked good. So yeah, there it is, another DIY from the retired guy draining my hot water heater. Till next one.